Hello, fellow traders. It's Nutty Bar, and man, what a crazy weekend. It is Sunday evening. It is getting late, and I had so much stuff going on this weekend. It feels like I had 10 different family functions that I had to attend this weekend, and in the middle of all that, Apex dropped a bombshell, kind of. Lots of changes. Apex 3.0, they're calling it. And in this video, I just want to go over the rules and what changed. I guess not so much what changed, but think of this video almost as a reset. Like, this is how Apex is going to be going forward. So everything that you knew about Apex in the past, or the rules and stuff about Apex in the past, if it's not on here, it no longer is in effect. It no longer applies currently. It's like a clean slate, and here is Apex 3.0. Now, my objective in this video is to give you guys the most important information and accurate information in a timely manner. That's my goal. I'm going to try not to give my opinion on things as much. I am probably going to, I sometimes can't help myself, so I will probably give my opinion some, but this video is to inform you. So obviously, you know, these kind of videos always get the most hate. It feels like there is a large audience out there that feels like they've been wronged by Apex. To a certain extent, I understand. But there's also a large part of you guys out there that have been breaking the rules and got denied a payout, and now you're just salty about it. I get it. I think there's both camps. The way that Apex obviously has rolled out some changes in the past, I didn't agree with, and I didn't like how it was rolled out. I think Apex could have handled things a lot better. So there's obviously blame to go around. And either way, it feels like these videos always get the most hate, and the comments always go crazy. And it feels like people always need to make sure that everyone knows how they feel. And that is what the comments are for. So I guess have at it. Knock yourself out. Only thing I ask, watch this video before you comment. That's all I ask. After that, go ahead, knock yourself out. So in this video, I also want to make note of, John did some interviews with, I want to say, Canadian futures trader over the weekend. So I watched some of that videos, and I'll be honest, I did not watch all 3 hours of it. Honestly, I just did not have time. But there were some, I watched the recap of it, and there were some glaring questions that I had. And there were also some glaring concerns that I had, and I did have an opportunity to reach out to John directly, and I voiced some of these concerns to him and some of these questions to him as well, things that just didn't make sense to me, mostly regarding the 30% negative drawdown and how that works with an account that's fresh. So this video is based on an update from the Canadian futures traders interview. So this video trumps that video. So this is an update, and there are some things that have been changed from that interview. So be aware of that. I just want to put that out there, make sure that everyone is aware that this is the updated as of October 20th on a Sunday night at 11 o'clock at night. This is the most current accurate information that I have. So let us proceed. Okay. Let's go. Okay, so communication. I'm going to do bullet points. That's how I do these videos the best. And obviously this video is not edited. This is a one-take video, and I'm going to do my best just as a one-take. That's the only way that I do videos. Just bear with me. I'm going to go through in bullet points so that you guys can kind of see what I'm going to be talking about. And then you can fast forward to the important parts if you want. I'm going to kind of highlight, like this, what I'm currently talking about, so that you guys can fast forward and know which subject I'm talking about. Okay, obviously communication. This has been a thing that I have harped on Apex and been very hard on Apex in the past, rightfully so in my opinion, that the lack of communication from their side has just been terrible. Now I gotta say, this is at least an improvement, and I want to give credit to it because in the past, a lot of times changes would happen like a Monday morning, and an hour into it, we'd recognize and realize that changes are happening, and then we would try to get answers. And sometimes it would take 3-4 days to get answers on those changes. So at least now we're seeing the communication happen before the changes are rolled out, and active communication. I know, John, from the interview that John did with Canadian Futures Trader, updating the videos and answering questions and actually making some adjustments to the rules based on the feedback. I do like to see that. So anyway, kudos. I put this on here, the cost of 20 PA accounts. I feel like a lot of these changes, that this is what that is. A lot of these changes, a lot of this is just the cost of basically the cost of having 20 accounts. And again, you can argue if it's worth it or not. That's up to you. But also faster approval and payouts. We've seen that over the last couple of weeks. Faster approvals, faster payouts. That's great. And let's hope that continues. So the rules and guidelines are in effect starting tomorrow. Now, John did mention that they're easing into it. So, they're going to be easing into it. What that means, I'm not sure. But I would treat it as tomorrow, these rules go into effect. Now, keep a couple things in mind. Later on, there are some exceptions to that regarding the safety net, so just bear with me. So obviously, no payout windows. This has kind of been a known thing, but I just wanted to cover this. So it's all inclusive in one video. No payout window starting November 1st. So starting November 1st, we no longer have to have payout windows of the 1st through the 5th and the 15th through the 20th like it is now. You can basically request a payout as long as you have 8 minimum days traded in between your payout requests. Now, with that 8 minimum days traded, you are required to at least have 5 days of $50 minimum in profit. I mean, I think that makes sense. So of those 8 traded days, you need to have at least 5 days of $50 in profit or more, which means technically you can flip 3 of those 8 days. I hope that makes sense. Okay, 30% consistency rule. This is nothing really new, but it's basically now a black and white rule. Instead of in the past being a gray area where Apex kind of termed it as, well, if you just have a really nice runner, then we might let you have 30% and more. Me personally, I have always asked, and I will continue to always ask for black and white rules. I think us as traders, we all want black and white rules because then there's no interpretation and we know what the rules are. That's, as a trader, that's what I prefer. So basically no more gray area. It's just black and white rule, stay within 30% consistency rule. Again, this is from your last payout approval. So, it resets every time a payout is approved, and it only looks forward to the next set of 8 traded days, if that makes sense. Okay, now we're getting into some of the things that have changed from the Canadian Futures Trader video that dropped earlier this weekend. So earlier this weekend, they were saying how the safety net can now no longer be withdrawn. Honestly, that's the big news. No longer being able to withdraw from the safety net was really the breaking news for Apex, and I think that affects the most people And it is a big change. This is a big change for Apex. And now since then, they have rolled that back a little bit, where previously they had said you just can't withdraw from your safety net. Now you might ask, what is your safety net? Basically, your safety net is whatever your drawdown is. That is the amount that your safety net is. For example, on a $50,000 account, you have $2,500 in drawdown. I guess you should say safety net plus $100. So your $2,500 is your drawdown. So you take 25 plus 100 is 2,600. So 2,600 is your safety net. Now they had that as you can't withdraw into your safety net. Prior to this, you could, but that caused a lot of problems. Basically what happened when what was happening a lot, and I did this myself included, and honestly, I recommended people to do it because as a trader, especially as a new trader, I think the most important thing as a new trader is to pay ourselves. But it was kind of a pros and cons to it. Once you get a 50K account and you would get it to 2,600 in profit, if you take a $2,000 withdrawal, you only have $500 in drawdown left, and usually you would blow the account. So you would just kind of be in this hamster wheel, I call it, of PA accounts. And that's something Apex didn't like. And that is why the safety net is being enforced, to try to get people to hold on to their accounts for a longer time. Now, since then, they have changed this a little bit. So now they are allowing you to withdraw $500 from your safety net. So whatever your drawdown amount is plus 100, that is your safety net. You can withdraw $500 from that safety net. So for example, on a 50K account, once you get your profit balance to $2,600, you can withdraw $500. If you want to withdraw $1,000, obviously you would need to get your account to $5,000. Sorry, I'm bad at math. Hang on. $53,100. Then you could withdraw $1,000, if that makes sense. So you can withdraw $500 into your safety net, which still allows you $2,000 of drawdown, which should be plenty. Again, this is something they changed. I do like this change, obviously. Obviously, this is a big change. This is a big change. It just is with the safety net, but this is to combat the earn and burn, people just going and cycling through PA accounts. So it is what it is. Now, one thing, once you have, this is only for your first 3 withdrawals. So on your 4th withdrawal, you can withdraw from your safety net. So, once you've taken 3 withdrawals, if you want to withdraw all of it or whatever, withdraw on your 4th, you can withdraw into that safety net. So it's not like the profits are stuck there and there is no way to ever withdraw from those profits like there is on some of the other prop firms. It basically, once you have 3 withdrawals, on the 4th withdrawal, you can withdraw into the safety net as much as you want. Well, within the limits of the amount you can request payout per account. Okay, so here is the other, I highlighted this next area right here. This is very important, and I feel like a lot of people are not aware of this. So, and this is me. This was something that I specifically asked John for, and I'll be honest, I'm quite happy that he allows this. One thing that I really didn't like about the changes that they rolled out, because today was the 20th, it really didn't allow people to have a chance to withdraw from their safety net. It really just didn't allow them that opportunity ever. And I guess where I had where I really felt bad for people was the new trader that has been working extremely hard to get their account to that profit threshold. And let's say this past weekend, they finally got, it across that profit threshold, or maybe they're $100 away. Maybe they're $200 away from, being able to request that first payout. I remember being there, and those are some exciting times. And those also are some very nervous times. And I really feel bad for those people that are so close to getting that first payout request, and to now have this rule, kind of come out of nowhere. I don't think anyone was prepared for it or warned about it. Now, instead of being $200 away, all of a sudden they are, it's just a way bigger goal they have to get to in order to get a $2,000 payout, if that is what they were planning to. So John did make an exception that between November 1st and November 5th, so 4 days, from November 1st through November 5th, you can still request and withdraw from your safety net, just like you were able to prior to this. And I think just out of courtesy for those that feel like this was kind of sprung upon them without really, I guess, them agreeing to it, not, at least giving people a chance, and those that were so close, that at least give them a payout window and an opportunity to request a payout. Obviously, you can decide what you want to do, but from the 1st until the 5th, you can request into your drawdown. Now, obviously, use it to your own discretion, but I was pleased that that change was made. Now, again, no payout caps. Basically, the way that, because of 8 traded days, you now, on your sixth withdrawal, you can request max payout. So there's no cap at the 6th withdrawal, where in the past it was the 4th month. So technically here, it would be easier to get to that no cap payout request. You could get there a little bit faster because of the 8 days versus the 4 month. Basically 4 days, 6 requests of 8 days is faster than 4 months, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, I hope I'm making sense. I feel like I'm blabbering here, but general guidelines. I wanted to go over kind of a general guideline and rules for Apex. Now, again, like I said in the video, this is everything you need to know for Apex going forward. So I'm trying to get everything consolidated into one space so that everything makes sense. Okay, so these first grayed out areas like this, these are just basic, these are basic requirements for all prop firms, and nothing really changed. So it's really not of important. I'll go through them, but basically no manipulating a sim environment, no HFTs or software, must trade the accounts yourself. You cannot trade both directions. Close your trades before 4:59 p.m. One note on that. If you forget to close your trade at 4:59 p.m., it doesn't blow the account. But if you do this as a habit constantly, you're going to get a warning. Trade proper month contract. Again, this is all just kind of sensible things, but I thought I would put it in here. Don't go over the max contract size. Algo bots and auto strategies must be manned. Basically, that means that you can't just put them on and go to work and let these auto traders go crazy. Don't hit your trailing drawdown, obviously. So that's the grayed area that is kind of a given across most prop firms. Now, the ones that I made in bold, these are the new rules that you need to be aware of. Basically, forget what you knew before. Throw it out the window. It's gone. This is going forward. And yes, I verify with John that this is the rules going forward. So trying to consolidate everything. Obviously, trying to keep it as simple as I can, but I am going to walk through it and try and explain it the best I know how. Okay, so first one, maintain 30% consistency rule. We already covered that. Basically, your 8-day payout window that you're requesting, or whatever payout window you're requesting, it could be more than 8 days, whatever payout window you're requesting, one profit day cannot be more than 30% of your total profit. If that makes sense. That should make easy sense. Okay, 8 trading days between requests. We covered this already. I'm not going to go over it again. 5 days have to be at least $50. You can flip 3 of the days. Have a strategy or system with risk management. I know this sounds crazy, but if you're trading, have a strategy, have risk management. I know for some people this is crazy talk, and it's unfathomable to think that you should have a strategy or risk management when trading, but hey, it is recommended. Contract consistency. So this is the one area that I would push back on still with Apex. I feel like this is the one area and the one rule that is still a gray area. But basically it is to avoid and eliminate the extremes. I did reach out. I'll be honest. I reached out to John trying to see, why can't this rule just be eliminated between the 30% consistency rule and the scaling plan, which is here. I feel like this rule should be able to just be eliminated, but obviously I don't make the rules, but I can make suggestions, but it is there just for the extremes. If you go 1 micro and then 1 mini, that's not a problem. If you go 5 minis the first day, you make big profits, and the remaining days you go to 1 micros, that could be a problem. Again, this is where I don't like the gray areas, because you kind of don't know what it is good and what isn't. But from my interpretation, it's the extremes and the people that are trying to look for windfalls. But again, I feel like the 30% consistency rule there would kind of take care of that. But anyway, that's my thoughts on that. So then we have the scaling plan. Basically, again, it's pretty simple. Until you have your profit above the safety net, trade only 50% of the allowed contracts. For example, on a 50K account, technically you can trade 10 minis. Now, if you're trading 10 minis on a 50K account with $2,500 in drawdown, God help you, because it's not going to end well, I can assure you. I don't know why someone would do that. I don't know why someone would trade more than 2 minis, but that's just me. Basically, don't trade more than 5. If your account is below the safety net, don't trade more than 5 minis. Okay? Once you're above the safety net, you can do whatever you want. Now, this is not a hard rule. So if you accidentally go to 6 minis, just close one. Don't freak out. If you accidentally enter with 10 minis, just quickly close 5 of them. This will not, the system will not prevent you from trading more than 50%. This is more just in place to control and help with your risk management. And just don't continually abuse it. And then use proper risk management. Again, a lot of these rules are based on risk management. That is the kind of the ongoing theme with Apex and these new rules. 3.0 is proper risk management. So proper risk management, don't use a worse than 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio on any one trade. So don't risk more than $500 to make $100. Again, I don't feel like this is asking for too much. Mental stops are allowed. A lot of people ask, can I have mental stops? Yes, you can have mental stops, but be aware, Apex has a way they are monitoring your max drawdown. So if you're using mental stops and you are continuously letting your account and letting your trade go $1,000 in the red, and then you're taking $100 profit, you're going to get flagged. And you're probably going to be, if you continuously do it, you're probably going to be put on probation. Negative drawdown rule. So again, this was a rule that needed a lot more clarification from the video that Canadian Futures Trader did. That just, it didn't make sense. Especially basically the example that they gave was someone with $10,000 in profit. Great example, but I hate to break it to everyone out there. Most traders don't start the day with a $10,000 in profit. So my question was, what about the scenario where you just start with a fresh account, or it's the second day and you have $200 in your account profit? So this covers this and clears that up. Basically, until you reach the safety net, your negative drawdown is based on your max drawdown allowance. So whatever, it's 30% of your max drawdown. For example, let's just use a 50K account. So let's say you get a fresh 50K account on a funded 50K account. Your max drawdown is $2,500. 30% of that is $750. So your negative drawdown rule is $750, okay? Now I want you to follow me along here. So let's say, for example, that first day you hit that $750, right? So obviously the next day your allowed drawdown is going to be, I'm bad at math, but it's going to be less than 2,500. It's going to be minus the 750. Your drawdown is still stays at 750. As long as you're below the safety net, it is a fixed amount. It doesn't change. So, and that is based off of your account size. For example, on a 150K account, your daily drawdown, your negative drawdown rule is $1,350 per day. As long as you're below the safety net, it's going to be $1,350. So hopefully that makes sense. Basically, if it's below the safety net, it's calculated just on your drawdown that you start out with when you have a fresh account. It's not calculated per day based on what remaining drawdown you have left. Because that just wouldn't make sense, because as you lose drawdown, it would just be a slow and painful death. So it stays a fixed amount until once you're above or at the safety net, then your drawdown is calculated on your profits. So on a 50K account, once you're at your safety net, basically that means you have $2,500 in profit and your drawdown would still be $750 until it keeps climbing up. And then at the end of every day, it would be recalculated. Again, and then once you have double your safety net, then your drawdown is 50% of your profits. Basically, once you have a larger profit amount, they increase the negative drawdown rule. You can risk more of the account, allows you a little more wiggle room. Not sure I explained the negative drawdown rule, so let me do that. Basically, this is to prevent people from just risking the whole account on every single trade, or risking the whole account on the first day. It's a way, again, this is to manage risk and not blow the account in one day. They just don't want to see a repeated pattern of people, going 5 contracts and hoping for the best. And if it blows the account, they just blow it. They don't want to see that. They don't want to see you guys just blow the account the first day in one trade. Have a risk plan. And that's basically what this is. Don't let your account drawdown go below 30% or that fixed amount if it's below the safety net. So the 5-to-1 risk management and the negative drawdown rule, they kind of work together. Because obviously One of them is per trade, but the other one is based on a per day, if that makes sense. The one tracks your per trade, the other one tracks you per day, and they both have the same objective, and that is to have good risk management. So hopefully that made sense. I feel like I'm out of breath, and the video is already 30 minutes long. I was hoping to do this in 15 minutes. Here we are. I don't know what else to do. Hopefully you guys find some value from this. If you have more questions, if there's things that are not making sense, post your question down below. I'll try to answer it. I'm also going to pin this video to my live streams so I don't get asked 10,000 questions when I'm trying to trade and stream at the same time. So I hope you found value. Leave your comment down below. Appreciate everyone. Take care and God bless.